Hello, dear students. Welcome back to online biology bridge course classes. So, today I'm going to continue the next part of study of the tissues because in first PUC you're going to study in detail about the plant tissues as well as animal tissues. The plant tissues are studied in the topic anatomy of flowering plants, and animal tissues are studied in the topic structural organization in the animals. So both of them are the part of first PUC, so that it is necessary to know about the basics of these tissues which are present in the plant body and which are present in the animal body. The plant tissues are of two types: meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. The cells of meristematic tissues have ability to undergo the continuous cell division, and cells of the permanent tissues don't have the ability to undergo cell division. The permanent tissues are again classified into two types. One is simple permanent tissue and another is complex permanent tissue. If the permanent tissues are made up of only one type of the cells, they are called simple permanent tissues, and there are three types of simple permanent tissues: parenchyma, commonly called fundamental simple permanent tissue; collenchyma, commonly called living mechanical tissue; sclerenchyma, commonly called dead mechanical tissue. Like that, one more type of the permanent tissue is complex permanent tissues, and complex permanent tissues are made up of different types of cells. The two complex permanent tissues are present in the plant body. One is xylem and another is phloem. The xylem is involved in the conduction, that is transportation of the water. Therefore, it is called the water conducting complex tissue, and phloem is involved in the conduction or transportation of the food. Therefore, it is known as food conducting tissue. So now let us move to the study of animal tissues. So in the body of animals, there are four different types of tissues are present. So in the plant body, we have only two main types, like meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Similarly, in the body of animals, we have four different types of tissues. They are epithelial tissues, then second one, connective tissues, third one, muscular tissues, and fourth one, nervous tissues. These are the four types of tissues which are present in the body of animals, especially the higher animals. In the body of higher animals, all these are the tissues which are present in the body, and they have the different structures, they have the different functions, and they have specific locations in the body. So let us move to these tissues one by one. So first one, epithelial tissues. Later I will go for the meaning. What is the meaning of epithelial tissue, and about all the remaining tissues later I will explain. Epithelial tissues. How many types are there in the epithelial tissues? There are four types. The epithelial tissues are further classified into four types depending on their structure: squamosal, or simply you can call it as a squamous. Then one more is cuboidal, third one is columnar, and fourth one is stratified. These are the four types of epithelial tissues. In the human body and in other mammalian body, all these types of tissues are present. How many types are there in the epithelial tissues? There are four types: squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium and stratified epithelium. Then second one is connective tissues, and connective tissues are of following types. The connective tissues are cartilage. First one is cartilage, second one is bone, one more is tendon, next one is ligament, blood. Blood is belonging to the group of connective tissue which is circulating in the body of animals. Then adipose tissue and loose tissue called areolar tissue. All these are the different types of connective tissues which are present in the body of animals. Remember, blood is also belonging to the group of connective tissues. So about blood, I am going to explain in detail in the next video. And remember, all these are the different types of connective tissues: cartilage, bone, tendon, ligament, blood, adipose and areolar tissue. Then one more type of the tissue which is again very important, it is muscular tissues, and muscular tissues are of three types. There are three types of muscular tissues in the animal body are present. One is striated muscles, second one is smooth muscles, and third one is cardiac muscles. This term you remember very clearly, cardiac muscles. Cardiac means heart. These muscles are found only in the heart. Rest of the animal body does not contain the cardiac muscles. So cardiac muscles are specifically present in only heart. The cardiac muscles are involuntary in nature. That means they do not obey the wishes and will. They do not work according to our will and wish. Their function is self-controlled, and they are the involuntary muscles which are present in the heart. So this is about the list of all the tissues which are present in the animal body. So moving to these tissues one by one in detail. What is the function of epithelial tissue? What is the meaning of squamous, cuboidal, columnar and stratified? Similarly with reference to connective tissues and muscular tissues. The another very important tissue of the animal body is nervous tissue. Entire controlling of the body is carried out by the brain. Brain and spinal cord and the nerves arising from brain and spinal cord, they constitute nervous tissues in the body. They receive the messages from body organs and they transfer the messages given by the brain. So another very important tissue of the animal body is nervous tissue. So moving to the first one about epithelial tissues. The epithelial tissues, as you know, there are four types: squamous, cuboidal, columnar and stratified. Here is the image of all the epithelial tissues. Okay. The first one, squamous epithelium. Second one, cuboidal epithelium. Another is columnar epithelium. One more is stratified squamous epithelium, and the last one, it is also the type of columnar epithelium, ciliated epithelium. If you look at the images, the names are given according to the shape of the cells which are found in the epithelial tissues. Depending on shape of the cell, the epithelial tissues are classified into following types: squamous, cuboidal, stratified, columnar. This is very evident here. In the columnar epithelium, cells are column-like or pillar-like, each cell consisting of only one nucleus. If you observe the cells of epithelial tissues, every cell is having only one nucleus. All the cells of epithelial tissues are uninucleated. That means they contain only one nucleus, and all the cells of epithelial tissues, they are arranged on a specific membrane called basement membrane. This you need to remember very clearly. Cells of the epithelial tissues are resting, that means they are present, situated or residing on a specific membrane called basement membrane. So basement membrane is the indication that the tissue is belonging to the group of epithelial tissues. Just you look at this image and this one, what is the difference? If the columnar epithelial cells at their terminal portion, if they contain hair-like cilia, minute hair-like structures, if they are present at the tip of columnar epithelium, it is called ciliated columnar epithelium. So columnar epithelium cells are column-like structures. If their free surface, the brush border, if it is having hair-like cilia, the same columnar epithelium is known as ciliated epithelium. And remember, the ciliated epithelium is mainly involved in the function of the filtration. The entire respiratory tract, nasal passage, trachea, branches of trachea, they are having ciliated epithelium. It helps in the filtration of air that passes through the different parts of respiratory system before reaching the lungs. Unwanted materials are removed by the beating action of cilia which are present on the ciliated epithelium. The brush border of the columnar epithelium with cilia is called ciliated epithelium, and this classification is mainly on the basis of shape of the cell, and they are also involved in different functions. So here is the remaining information. Epithelial tissues are widespread throughout the body, like parenchyma. As you know, the parenchyma is the plant tissue which is found distributed in each and every part of the plant body. Like that, the epithelial tissues in the animal body, they are widespread. They are present everywhere in every part of the body, and they form, important sentence, they form covering of all body surfaces. That means skin is made up of epithelial tissue. The mucous membrane which is present in the mouth, ear, in the intestine, all that is made up of epithelial tissues. They line the body cavities. That's what I take the name of the mouth. In the mouth we have a cavity which is called buccal cavity or oral cavity. Even the oral cavity or buccal cavity is also lined by epithelial tissues. Hollow organs. What is the meaning of a hollow? Any structure having internal cavity or tube-like structure. If I take the example of refill, if you hold the refill in your hand by removing the nib, the entire refill in the center, it will be having a complete cavity. Such structures are called hollow organs. Organs which are having the internal cavity. Esophagus, it is a tube-like structure, it is a hollow organ, and esophagus is also lined by epithelial tissue. Apart from this, other major tissues in the glands. What is gland? Which secretes either hormone or juice. They are called glands. Pituitary is a gland, liver is a gland, thyroid is a gland, pancreas is a gland, adrenal glands which are present on the kidney, they are also glands. Even the glands are also having epithelial tissues, and remember, glands are involved in the function of secretion. Either they produce and secrete hormones or they produce and secrete juices. Even glands are also having epithelial tissues. So moving to the next sentence here, the epithelial tissues perform a variety of functions such as protection. What is the function of skin? It is providing protection to all the parts which are present below it. Say for example, unbroken skin. If we don't have any damage or scar, any mark or injury on the skin is a barrier. Barrier means it prevents the entry of disease causing organisms into the body. Let us assume we have a small injury on the skin. When skin is broken, when it is injured, the microbes may enter into the body through that injured part. Otherwise, the unbroken, uninjured skin is always acting as barrier. It is providing protection. Secretion, just now I told, the glands are also having epithelial tissues and their function is to secrete either hormone or juices. Absorption, very important. Columnar epithelium, especially in the small intestine. There are two types of intestine in the human body, large intestine and small intestine. I am talking about small intestine. In the small intestine, the columnar epithelium at its terminal end or brush border, it is having the finger-like projections, and these structures are called villi, and the villi is involved in the absorption of digested food. In the small intestine, all the digested food is absorbed due to the presence of villi. Apart from that, they also help in excretion, removal of unwanted material from the body, then filtration, removal of unwanted or preventing unwanted materials to enter into the internal body parts. All these functions are carried out by epithelial tissues. They form the body covering, they are covering the body cavities and hollow organs, even in the glands. They perform the functions like protection, secretion, absorption, excretion, as well as filtration. So these are the things, basic things that you need to remember with reference to the study of epithelial tissues. Then moving to next one, connective tissues. The name itself is indicating connective tissues. That means they are connecting other tissues with each other. They are meant for connecting other tissues with each other, even body parts with each other, and all these are the connective tissues. Here is the image: cartilage, bone, tendon, ligament, blood, adipose tissue and areolar tissue. Cartilage and bone, both of them are producing the skeletal system. In case of fishes, the entire skeletal system is made up of cartilages, and in our body the skeletal system is made up of bones. If the skeletal system is made up of cartilage, the fishes are called chondrichthyes. Chondrion means cartilage. If the skeletal system is made up of bone, of course the fishes are having the bony skeletal system, they are called osteichthyes. These two are the components of skeletal system. Tendon and ligament are joining, blood is the fluid connective tissue, filling is carried out by adipose and areolar connective tissues. So here is the images. This is the dense connective tissue. This one is adipose tissue. It is the image of loose connective tissue called areolar connective tissue. This is the image of the bone, and this one is the image of the only fluid connective tissue present in the animal body, and it is blood. So in detail the topic will be explained because it is the part of our first PU syllabus. Just basics here I am explaining for the purpose of the connection. That's what the course is called, bridge course. So connective tissues, what is the function and where they are present? Connective tissues are group of the tissues in the body that maintain the form of the body and its organs and provide cohesion and internal support. The same thing in the beginning only explained. Connective tissues, they are meant for cohesion. Cohesion means binding or attachment. They connect one body part with another body part. They are meant for internal support. The same skeletal system is providing support to human body. Like that in other animal also, the skeletal system is providing support. So they maintain the body condition, or I can say external appearance. The appearance or external structure of the organism is maintained with the help of connective tissues. So what are the two functions which are carried out by the connective tissue? One is they connect the different body parts, and second one, they maintain the body form. Appearance of every organism is maintained with the help of connective tissues. So moving to next one, muscular tissues. And three types of muscular tissues are striated muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. Here is the complete image showing all the three types of muscles representing muscular tissues of the animal body. Cardiac muscles. In the beginning itself I told the cardiac muscles, look at the arrow mark. They are present only in the heart and they are involuntary in nature. They do not work according to our will and wish. The functioning information is generated in the muscle itself. Cardiac muscles are present only in the heart. Skeletal muscles, they are found attached to the bones because the bone is forming a complete skeletal system and bone is belonging to the group of connective tissues. The muscle which is attached to the skeletal system, they represent the skeletal muscles and they are voluntary in function. Say for example, if you want to lift your hand, then only you will lift. Otherwise, simply the hand, leg or something else in the body, they do not move without our intention or without our orders. So skeletal muscles are voluntary in function. They work according to our will and wish. One more is smooth muscles, and the smooth striated muscles are nothing but they are skeletal muscles only. Striated muscles because the muscles are having strips, striations, bands. So here you can see the labelings or the markings. These lines are the representation of bands. Therefore, the skeletal muscles are also known as striated muscles. Smooth muscles, they are unstriated muscles. They don't have the band and they are present in the internal organs. The image here you can see, it is stomach. The internal organs are having smooth muscles. So these are the three types of muscles which are present in the animal body and all of them are together representing muscular tissues. What is the function? Muscle tissue is specialized tissue found in the animals which functions by contracting, thereby applying forces to different parts of the body And muscle tissues consists of fibers of muscle cells connected together in the form of sheet and fibers. What it means? Muscle tissues are mainly involved in the functions like contracting. Muscle cells, they undergo first contraction. By contracting their structure, they apply the force on different parts of the body so that the function is executed. So contracting property, contraction and expansion, these are two important properties which can be observed in every muscle cell. All the muscle cells have the property of contraction and expansion. When they contract, the force is applied to different parts to execute any specific function. And muscle tissues are made up of fibers of the muscle cells, and these muscle cells are arranged in the form of sheets and fibers. Muscle cells are represented by fiber and they are arranged, connected. The muscle cells are connected together in the form of sheet or fiber. Whenever muscle cell undergo the contraction, it exerts the force on different body parts to execute the required function. So these three are different types of muscles which are present in the animal body. So how many types of tissues are there in the animal body? Epithelial tissues, they mainly form the outermost covering. Connective tissues, they connect one part with another part. Then muscular tissues, the cells of the muscular tissues have the ability to undergo contraction and expansion so that the movement of the body, entire movement of the body is executed with the help of muscular tissues. Remember here one important point. Cardiac muscles are found only in the heart and they are involuntary in function. Squamous, cuboidal, stratified, columnar, all these are the types of epithelial tissues. Then cartilage, bone, ligament, tendon, blood, adipose and areolar are the types of connective tissues. Striated muscle or skeletal muscle, smooth muscle and cardiac muscles are the different types of muscles which are present in the animal body. The muscle cells have the important property, what I told, they have the ability to undergo contraction and expansion. Whenever the muscle cells or muscle fibers contract, they exert the force on different body parts to execute the required function. So these are the things that I wanted to discuss in the today's video. Hope the explanation is clear for you. If you have any doubt with reference to explained parts in the videos, you can contact me through the WhatsApp or call and you can call to my number which is there in the WhatsApp group. Thank you.